Welcome to the host with the most, Toddcast. And now, direct from the Razzle Dazzle Studios, here's the tan, tattooed connoisseur of conversation, Todd Newton.
Maria and I are still talking about underwear. You see, we get on these little kicks and then we just keep going. I love that advice that your friend's mom said. What was it? Whenever you go out and buy a pair of shoes or
anything,
something.
Buy yourself a pair of panties. She said shoes or bracelet. You're not even in the underwear mode, but buy yourself a new pair of panties. That way, you always have new underwear in your drawer. And she was right. You always have a new pair of underwear. If something elastic breaks or whatever you have to throw out, you don't have to feel bad because you got all these new underwear stockpiled. Just pick a pair and go.
I like that. That's
and
good.
While we're talking about this,
yes,
I know it's crazy we're still talking about it, but just let me get a plug in for the poor. Look, when you're giving stuff to the mission, like, because now spring cleaning for a lot of people and you're cleaning out stuff and you're giving away old clothes, stop in Target or Walmart or somewhere and buy a pack of underwear and donate that too.
Yeah.
That's the one thing they don't get
right
at the mission is new underwear. And that's the one thing that people really need. So give them some new underwear. Give them a pack of socks.
It's funny. I read an article about that. Socks is a big one, right? You're absolutely right. Underwear is a great idea. You don't think about that. And we donate. Usually when we donate old clothes to Goodwill or to those bins that you just kind of see in parking lots now, which I think is great. It makes it super convenient for people. Men especially, we donate old suits that we're never going to wear anymore. Those aren't practical for the homeless or for the needy.
No.
A suit, they don't need a suit. But you're right. They need underwear and the essentials, T-shirts and
socks, because those things they wear forever.
Yeah,
that's
a very
and that's
good
when
point.
you see. I feel bad when I see some guy with like a dirty old white T-shirt. You know, he's been wearing it for probably a couple of months.
Yeah,
I'm like, God, give that guy a new shirt. That's what he needs.
Excellent point. Prior to underwear, we were talking about dogs and how the weather is perfect right now for a nice morning walk with the dogs. There's this guy over in China. I saw this picture. I'm like, wait a minute, I got to click on this picture. What is this? What happened to this guy? He has this furious look on his face. This look of just, he looks distraught and angry all at once. It turns out that he was walking his dogs early in the morning, earlier in the week, very early, before the sun even came up. And out of nowhere, as he's walking his dog, a black and white tuxedo cat drops out of the sky and lands on his head, causing him to collapse on the sidewalk unconscious. And they've got got the security footage of it. And he's walking past just like an apartment building, and this cat jumped out of it's the third story technically, but really it just looks like the second story. It's not like it wasn't a death fall for the cat, but the cat jumps out the window. The cat was going for the dog, clearly. I mean, that must have been what happened. Maria, it lands on the man's head. He fell to the ground. The ambulance comes. He was in the hospital for 23 days.
Oh my God!
But here's the best part of this video, because it looks just like my cat Dean Martin, a little black and white.
I was gonna say, where is he? Where's your daughter live?
Best part of the video is the guy. The guy goes horizontal on the ground. Bless his heart. I'm glad he's okay now. But the cat just trots away, just walks away, and must probably.
I just needed something to break my fall.
And the dog's sitting there looking around like, what the hell? Mean. What the hell just happened?
Just happened?
It's the best security.
Who's going to finish my walk now?
Best footage I've ever seen.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the Tattooed Traveler YouTube channel. Join award-winning TV host and travel expert Todd Newton as he takes you coast to coast and around the globe to destinations like Paris, Rome, Bangkok, Hollywood, Mexico, New York, and so many more. Experience all the world has to offer by visiting thetattooedtraveler.com or subscribe on YouTube at The Tattooed Traveler.
Let's get back to the talk that will keep you talking. This is the host with the most, Toddcast with Todd Newton.
Nice.
Oh, we were
Peach
talking,
mimosa.
I know, peach mimosas. I was just telling Maria that I went to this great breakfast place over the weekend. It's called the Henry, and they've got them in, a couple of them in California, one in Arizona, one in Texas. They've got one opening, I think, in Miami, and they are famous for their peach mimosas. So I tried one, and I put it on my TikTok, which is @TheTattooedTraveler. You can see this place. Really, really good. And I have a buddy of mine who lives in Palm Springs, and immediately he said, Peach Mimosa was my grinder name in college. That's outstanding. Outstanding. Hey, you remember yesterday we were talking about how right now, medical professionals say right now is the time. If you're trying to conceive a baby, your best chances are right now, because I don't know if it's the weather, the phases of the moon, but this is when a guy's the most fertile, most potent down there, most powerful. You're shooting the least amount of blanks,
I need to tell my daughter, because she just had a baby, which makes her extra fertile, that she and her man better
careful.
Wait. They better wait like the doctor told them. Don't try to sneak earlier.
Yeah. Be careful, man. Oof. Could you imagine having babies 9 months apart? Oh. But, you see some people, I know couples who have 3 kids. I know one couple that has 4 kids, and they're all right there about a year apart. And it was their plan. They wanted to do it that way. They wanted, multiple kids, and they wanted them real close. I guess they just wanted to get it all out of the way,
I think bigger families are coming back.
Are they? I haven't read it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But right now, the average number of time most couples will have to be intimate if they're looking to conceive is 104. That's a lot of rehearsals.
I don't think anybody's complaining, though.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, nobody's complaining as long as you can space that out. If we're talking 60 days or, if we're talking a month and a half and you're trying to fit 104.
Yeah, that's good. You can do that if you're young.
A lot of people in this study said that trying to have a baby took about 6 months. 6 months. And people, with science now, it's really easy to determine when the perfect time is for both the women and the men. You're not leaving as much of it up to chance as you can find out when a woman is ovulating. Like, there are apps on the phone that will do that. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
I know. It's crazy.
But, if you're looking to have a baby, you got to, obviously rehearsing is good for anything, Maria. Being in the entertainment industry, we are all for.
That's right.
Doing a few run-throughs. So, it'll just be ready to put a little effort in here. 104 times is usually the average number that it will take before a couple becomes pregnant. And again, like we told you yesterday, if you weren't here, now is the time. Something about this time of year, man. I don't know, but
And so, brown chicken, brown cow.
Yeah, the little swimmers are ready. Coming up, I want to talk about the price of some of these colognes for men.
God.
I walked past a buddy of mine. He's more of a business acquaintance, but I had a meeting yesterday, and he smelled so good to the point where I had to ask him what he was wearing. And he told me, I entered it in my notes on my phone, and when I found out how much it was, ridiculous. But I found a solution. It's we'll tell you about it coming up.
Thank you for keeping the art of conversation alive. For more Todd, visit ToddNewtonOnline.com. And don't forget to rate and review the show today. The Host with the Most Toddcast is produced by the Host with the Most, LLC. All rights reserved.